Hello, and welcome to your first training in ChatGPT. This is a 4-week training, so I'm going to be going through all the things that I'm learning about ChatGPT and how amazing it is, and how it's going to help you be a better business owner, how it's going to help you save time. And I'm just going to go through and take you from what I'm saying, a beginner to a pro. Now, I have, along with this video, I have some notes that I've been putting into a Google Doc as I go, and each week I'll add to this Google Doc, and you will have these to be able to print off and keep. You'll also have this video that you can continue to watch. Okay, so first things first, ChatGPT. It is amazing. We need to make sure that we get on the right version of ChatGPT. Okay. So there are lots of different, I guess you would say, lots of different um, AI tools that you can use. And I'm not saying any of them are right or wrong. But my experience and what I believe is pick one, stick to it. And, they're all quite competitive. They're all going to be advancing at the same time. They're all changing. I mean, I think the stats around ChatGPT or AI and the way that it's being, I guess, taken up in the business world and with people personally is massive. There hasn't been anything like it, not even when computers were brought in or phones, mobile phones, etc. So it is definitely something I think that you really need to be across, and it's only going to get better and better and better as we go. Okay. Now, as it gets better and better, you've got to keep using it. So I also run a course on this where it's a 6-month program where I teach you all of ChatGPT, but also about bringing it into everyday running of your business. So, creating emails, using how you can actually automate a lot of your business. We'll touch on some of that over the coming weeks, but just remember, we've got 4 weeks of this training. It is designed to get you set up on AI and feeling comfortable, okay? The other thing I want you to think about with AI is also, and chat, is that it's not something to be afraid of. It's not something to be scared of. It's not something you can hurt. It's not something that you can mess up. Um, there is a lot of talk about, AI not sounding like you. And I did see in Australia when Diary of the CEO guy, Steve Bartlett, came to Australia, he did talk about this whole evolution of AI and how it is going to be absolutely huge. But with that will come the need for people to still have this personal contact. So we don't want to take away the personality behind you or your brand or your business. That's going to be even more important. So that personal brand, that's why so many people are talking about personal brand, because, while we've got AI that can help us, we don't want to sound like everybody else. And so when we get into creating bots, I'm going to show you how AI actually allows you to create based on what can I call it? Based on you giving it lots of information about you and your business. So it can sound like you, okay? And we train it to do that. So the other beautiful thing is the more you use AI, the better you become and the better it becomes. Okay, so the better you become, I mean by that is, I use AI all day, every day. I get it to bounce off a lot of ideas for me. I use it both personally and professionally. I have a business coach on it. Um, yeah, it does a lot of things for me, and I'll go through and explain some of those and give you a high level detail today as well. Um, but it's taking me time to get it to that level, okay? It's taking me time to train it, to get it to understand where I want to take it. And as I'm evolving and moving in my business, I need to make sure that it's evolving and moving with me. Okay. And as you see what I'm doing, you'll get to understand what I mean by that. Now, why did I jump onto AI? Why did this designer decide to get into AI and this mentor? Well, the biggest thing I've found with being a mentor is there is so much information out there for designers and creatives, any woman and or male in business, female woman, male, whatever, anyone in business. There is so much information to keep on top of doing what you need to do to bring cash in the door to survive as a business. And for me, in the past, it's been really interesting to try and think about ways to streamline businesses, to make them, I guess, not give you more information, but actually help you dissect information maybe and give you just the information that you need. And for the first time in a long time, I think this is a program or an app, whatever you like to call it, a tool, a business tool that will actually save you time and make you a better business owner. And I have never seen anything like that that's been able to do that for businesses, particularly small business. And so that's why I'm so excited about it. It's revolutionizing the way we do business, and it's going to actually save you time. It's going to make you look more professional as well. And it's going to help you make better business decisions. Okay. And that's really important as well. So, today, what we're going to get out of today is we're going to talk about which AI to be using, which chat, so we make sure that we're all on the right chat GPT, because there's a couple of versions, and if you put it in to Google, who knows what comes up. So I'm just going to make it very clear that we know exactly what website we're signing into, if you haven't already, and what it looks like and how to train the back end. And I'm just going to then take you over a few of the things that I do with ChatGPT. Okay. So, first thing is, again, a big welcome. ChatGPT, and I'm going to be referring to these notes here that I have, and these notes will be available to you as well. ChatGPT is more than a content tool. Okay. So, I want you to think of it as a business assistant. Okay, for me, it's a coach, it's an assistant, it's a BFF. So someone that I just bounce ideas off, something I just feed into that I don't have to worry about the way I'm feeding in information once I've trained it. It's almost like I do brain dumps into there. Okay. The way you ask it questions determines the response. Okay. Someone gave me an analogy a while ago, and I thought it was really good. Treat ChatGPT like you're going to the doctor. You go into the room with the doctor. You've got to give the doctor some background. You've got to tell them what's happening. How long has it been happening for? What are you feeling? Where are you at with it all? And then he's going to prescribe something for you, or she's going to prescribe something for you. So think about that when you're brain dumping or asking it a question. We don't just want generic questions. We want to make them really specific to our business. We want to talk about our feelings, how it's making us feel. I'm in business at the moment. My niche is this, but I'm feeling really stuck. I'm having a content block, or I'm not sure I'm going after the right client. Can you help me? And we're going to feed it in really, really deeper questions. And you can train it to match your voice and your business needs. Okay, so I'm going to go through a little bit about that as well. But here's my biggest tip. Treat ChatGPT like your AI business bestie. The quality, as I said, of your input determines the quality of its output. Most people get generic answers and will bag ChatGPT because they think they sound like everyone. And, there's people coaches out there who are scared of it, and it is taking over a lot of jobs, VA roles, assistants. But In the same token, if you embrace it, it is actually delivering a lot of jobs into our economy. Okay. But so most people ask it generic questions and get generic answers. But when we treat chat like a real thinking partner, so give it the respect, right? Like respect it like a business colleague. Give it context, give it details, give it clear goals. You unlock, then you unlock next level results. Okay. And that's what this training's about, unlocking next level results. Okay. Because we don't want to be generic. We don't want to be, I want you to differentiate yourself from your main competitors, from the person down the road from you who you're competing against. The person that implements AI is going to be ahead of the person who doesn't. Okay, so just remember that. Play around with it, use it, and just have some fun with it as well. Okay. Okay, so how do we get the best out of ChatGPT? Here's some ways. Be specific. Instead of how do I grow, like just putting in a question like that, how do I grow? Ask it, what are 3 ways to hit 10K months as as an interior designer working 3 days a week, or as an interior designer working 25 hours a week? So give it some real big parameters. Um, and you might also then talk about, give it context. If you're struggling, tell it why. For example, I've been doing this job for 5 years. Social media is not my forte. I really need help understanding Instagram and better communicating on Instagram with my clients. So I need a strategy to help me communicate better with my clients using Instagram as my main tool. Could be using Pinterest, could be using LinkedIn, whatever you deem to be your main social platform, tell it what your main social platform is, okay? And we're going to get into how we're going to be telling it all this stuff just in a minute. We're going to do some live examples. So give it context, be specific, bounce ideas off it. This is what I love. Okay. Treat it like a business coach. I do. I actually have a bot set up as my business coach. So I'm thinking of launching a mini course, or I'm thinking of launching a lead magnet or a low cost digital product. Here is what my thoughts are. Here's who the client is. This is what I'm thinking. Based on everything that I've told you so far about me and my business, do you think this is a viable option for me? If you do, can you help me structure it? So we give it some information, we see what it feeds back to us, we tweak it. We don't always go with the first thing it gives us back. We tweak it and then we go back in. Okay. So be specific, give context, bounce ideas off it, ask for actionable strategies. So instead of just explanations, ask for a step-by-step plan. So quite often I am saying to it, I think that you could go deeper on this. I think I need 10 bullet points on this. And if I'm not happy with those 10 bullet points, I'll say, can you give me another 10 bullet points? And then if I'm still not fully happy with those 10, I might say 1 to 5 are amazing. Can I have another 10 based on 1 to 5? And it will produce this information for you so quickly. And what it is also doing it as you're asking all these questions and playing around with it, it's learning you. Okay, it's learning how you speak. It's learning what kind of answers you want, what kind of detail you want. So it's absolutely getting, it's almost like getting a photographic memory of you. Okay. Chat about your day as well. This is a really important. You might do this at the end of the day. You might do this in the morning about yesterday. Share your wins, your struggles, your thoughts. Today felt overwhelming, and here's why. I'm really stuck in business at the moment, and I just feel overwhelmed. This is what I need to do. This is what my big overarching goal is. So that might be 10K months, for example. Help me prioritize the next 4 weeks so that based on me working 25 hours a week, whatever it is for you, help me prioritize my social media plan. Help me prioritize my emails. Tell me what I need to do to actually move the needle and make money. So I am using that all the time with ChatGPT. I don't want it to give me fluffy, generic answers. I want them to be actionable. And I also wanted to always know my overall arching goal in business is to move the needle and make money. Okay. And so everything I do, I don't want to be caught up in fluff. I want to take needle moving action every day. So I reminded of that as well. Okay. Use it for accountability and motivation. So if you need a push, tell it, keep me focused. If you think I've got shiny object syndrome, if you think I'm creating another offer and I haven't done the best with my previous offers, tell me, tell me, help me tweak it so that I'm not going too broad. I'm not, introducing something new because what I thought I had thought of that was going to work isn't working, but really I just need to tweak that. Okay, so use it for accountability and motivation. The more you engage, refine, and iterate, the more valuable ChatGPT is. And I think we've sort of got that. ChatGPT, the more valuable it becomes. It's not just a tool, it's your 24/7 thinking partner, your strategy coach, and your creative brainstorming buddy. You will find that when you're using this quite a fair bit, it becomes quite addictive to use it because you can get answers about lots of things. And it's interesting about the answers that you can get from it. Okay. So before I move into a couple more and setting it up, I just want you to know what you need, why you need ChatGPT, if we haven't already covered that. So we've said it's an AI assistant. It's going to save you time. It's going to create high quality content for any of your marketing content. It's going to help you refine your business strategy, your pricing strategy, everything to do with that. Okay. It can scour the net in seconds and bring you back information. And I'm going to give you some examples of that as well. It can help you streamline client communication. If you get an email from a client and you want to reply to them, you can put the email, you can cut and paste the email in and say, can you give me a professional reply to this, objecting to this offer or telling them that's not the way I price or you've, overstepped the boundaries or whatever. You can get it to word those emails for you and then you can just cut and paste it, send it off in an email. Okay. You might want to tweak it here and there to sound more like you or to sound less, if you feel like it sounds robotic, you can actually still implement or put some humanness back into it as well. Okay. The other thing is it is beautiful for lead generation, idea generation. Sometimes as business owners, we are so close to our businesses that we don't see what's going on right in front of us. The amount of times I look at businesses, I look at their bios, their touch points, the way that they're communicating. There's always usually a mismatch or something that's not aligning. And usually they'll say to me, I'm stuck and I'm not getting clients or I'm not getting the right clients. And so in my business audit, I go through and look at all of their touch points and usually I can see what it is. So usually it's either the offer is not aligning to what you've got on Instagram or what you've got on your website. The visuals you're producing do not align with the client that you want to get. So it's a great tool to use to help you get leads, and also to help you find out, what are you doing right in business? What are you doing that's not right in business? Now, for me also, and this might sound a little bit woo, is I use it and I bring in my human design. Now, if you don't know what human design is, that is all about working in flow to the way that you produce content, the way that you go to market, the way that you like to do business as a business owner. And so for me, I am a 6-2 generator in my third quadrant. And my sacral is my gut. So this sounds quite in depth. If you're in human design, it's probably making perfect sense, but I won't bog down on too much of that. But there is human design that I get it to take into account my human design in the way that I create my offers, in the way that I create my content, because I want my business to flow. I don't want it to feel hard, and I don't want it to feel like it's something I don't enjoy. And since absolutely implementing human design into my business in the last 6 months, I'd say, my work days feel more in flow. I feel like my business is not out of control. I'm not overwhelmed. I'm just creating more of what I love, and I'm really listening to the way my human design interacts with the way that I come together as a business coach as well. So I might show you a little bit on human design if you're interested as well. But here we go. We're going to look at the actual, I'm going to share a screen with you. So let me just have a look here, and I'm going to get into, wait a minute, I won't do that. I'm going to get into the Chat GPT, and then I'm going to show you what the website is. Okay, back to Zoom, share. Okay, hopefully you can see my ChatGPT screen. So the first thing I want to make sure is that you're in this right ChatGPT website, chatgpt.com. That is the one that you need to be signing up to, okay? Now, I'm in the paid version. It is $20 US a month. I highly suggest you do that. Now, the reason that I like to do the paid version is you get far better output, but the beautiful thing is it allows you, it remembers your conversations, okay? So you will see it here. I use it for so many things all the time. And I'm brainstorming with it all the time. Okay. So you won't have any of this other stuff down the side. You will most likely just have this up the top. Okay. These here are my own bots, or GPTs, they're called, that I've created. And we'll get into that next week about creating how we create our own GPT bot. But for today, what I really want you to do is to concentrate on signing up, making sure it's this one, getting the paid version. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into the back end. Okay. And I'm going to show you what to do here. Okay. So the other thing to mention here, just before we go into the back end, so I can show you how to train it, is that once you do sign up for this, you can also get the version of this onto your phone, so you can download the app. Now, the reason I love it on the app is if I'm out and about and I get a business idea, which quite often happens, I can use the voice messaging on here. So this part here, when you're asking it for a question, you can just use voice mode. So I can hit voice mode and I can say, I've got a feeling I've just had an idea come into my head about creating a post for women in business. It's about this, blah, 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 la, 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 la. These are the pain points I'm going to hit. Can you write me some magnetic messaging? What do you think about this as a post? Or do you suggest I do a carousel or a reel on this topic? How would I format it? Hit it and I send it off and it will produce something for me. So, but yes, you must understand what you're putting in, what questions you're asking it, and start using it while you're in the car, maybe, or while you're on a walk. If something comes to you, you can actually do it, okay? You can put it in. So, ChatGPT, when you're on the paid version, you're going to get the 4.5 version, okay? So that is good for writing, exploring ideas. The thing is, don't worry about it too much about that. 4.5 paid version, They're all pretty competitive. There's going to be lots of different other websites that you can go on. There's DeepSeek, there's oh, Claude. You know, I've used quite a few of them. There's Poppy AI, which is quite good too. For me, for an everyday business owner, I find this the best or easiest for me to use. So I'm only going to be training on ChatGPT. Okay. So once you've created your account, you'll see over here to the right, you've got this little icon, and that's your icon from signing in. Okay. So if you're a business, whatever it is, IN stands for Interiors Insider. So I hit that. And when I hit that, there is what comes up here is tasks, my GPTs, which are my bots. So I can go into those. We'll talk more about bots next week. Customized chat GPT, which is what we're going to be doing, settings, and whether you're going to upgrade your plan. You know, if you're already signed into this and you've got the free version, then go in, upgrade your plan to the $20 a month. It is the best money you will spend as a business owner, I promise. Way cheaper than getting a VA. So, customized chat GPT. Here we go. Really, really important, okay? First thing we're going to do is we're going to toggle this on. So we want what I put in here to be on. I want it to reference this every time we start a new chat, okay? So let me just cancel that again and show you where it is. And you can rewind this if you're watching the replay. We're going to go into the little circle over here on the right, customize chat GPT. Now, it's going to ask you a whole lot of questions, and you don't need to be, what's the word? You don't need to have the right grammar in here. You can just use it as a dumping tool as well, okay? But we want to give it as much context about us and our business as we can. We can always add to it later as well. Okay, so don't think this is something that you set and forget. We always want it to be better and better. So introduce yourself to get better, more personalized responses. So what should ChatGPT call you? So we just go in, put your name in. What do you do? Okay, so I'm a designer. I am a childcare worker. I am a photographer who specializes in something. And, you know, this is who my ideal client is. Who do you help? What do you do? And is there anything else it needs to know? Okay. Just a very two-sentence summary. So I'm just going to give you a moment to fill that in. So come back there, fill that in. Let's just pause while you do that. I'll give you 5 minutes just to fill that in. Okay, so 5 minutes time, you've would have filled that in. We'll go back to share. Now I want you to fill in what traits should ChatGPT have. Okay, so for me, when I'm talking my things that I always I like to have magnetic communication. I like it to be elevated. I like it to be forward thinking and sometimes slightly out of the box. Okay, so think about what your writing style is. Is it elegant? Is it something rah, rah, rah? But also, you know, is it caring, compassionate? Is it always positive? You know, mine is never negative, but always remain real. So I want it to always be real. Always want the best for me and the business and make decisions that will make me money and grow my business. Take a forward-thinking view. Okay, so just think about that. You can also put in some little quick ones here. Could be encouraging. You might say that you talk mainly to Gen Zs or baby boomers or whatever that is, because that's going to be some important information. You could say that you're traditional in your thinking, you're witty. So just give it some traits that you want the conversation to have. Okay, so I'll give you another 5 minutes to do that. And the reason I like you to do this while we're on the call or while you're watching the replay is so that you can do it now. Sign in now. Get onto it as we're doing it. Otherwise, don't leave this for later. I really want you to get in and do this now so that you're embracing it, getting to use it, and letting me know any feedback that you have along the way. Okay, so welcome back. That's another 5 minutes of putting that in. So you would have paused this recording, go forth, do it again, put your other next bit in. So anything else ChatGPT should know about you? So the thing is for me, I know about myself is that I'm really driven. I have many ideas. I love being a business owner. I love helping women grow their business. So I'm putting all this information into chat because the way that I'm going to ask it questions, it needs to know, what is it that I want the output to be? I love AI. I love social media, especially in Instagram, and I love building businesses. I find it really easy to build businesses. Okay. I want to be successful and make lots of money. You can be really real with your ChatGPT background here. Okay. You can tell it things. No one else is going to see this. Okay. I'm an entrepreneur and business coach specializing in helping women up level in business. Okay, so I'm all about their branding, their socials, using Flowdesk, lead attraction, and selling. I also want to teach them AI because I know how powerful it is. I help creatives and interior designers with their business growth, automation, and marketing strategies. I also run a side hustle. So if you're doing something else, you can tell it, which is a high-end jewelry brand. And it is mainly positioned at millennials and Gen Z buyers. So I also create weekly content for that and sell that. So that's she is Lior, my jewelry brand, that I am just at the moment building with ChatGPT and importing out of China. So that's another thing that I'm asking it to help me with is have this other idea. So I wanted to try some e-commerce and having a look at Amazon and all those other ways that you can diversify your income to make more money. And it can help you to do this. Okay. So give it some information here again. Take 5 minutes, press pause, input that stuff that you want it to know. So what else did I say? Sorry, I help create I also create a weekly newsletter and I've got a broadcast channel that talks about the real life stories of entrepreneurship and the ups and downs of being super ambitious and being very driven. I also think I have ADHD, but I'm not formally diagnosed and I'm always full of ideas and sometimes I need to rein those in. Okay, so I'm just going to put that, I've got way in there. Rein. Oh, not caps. Rein these in. I am a 6-2 generator, so I remember we spoke about that before in human design. So I always want it to take into account that information. Okay, and I give it my age as well. Super ambitious and very driven. Okay. So we're just going to once we've done all of that, we're also going to go down here and hit advanced. And we're going to tick these boxes because what this is doing, automatically search the web to get answers. Now you only get this with the paid version. DALL-E can generate images, code. You don't really need to know about the code. We won't be doing anything with code, but just tick it. Canvas, collaborate with ChatGPT on text and code. Don't worry about that. Just tick it. Advanced voice, more natural conversations in voice mode. So again, I was talking to you, I can hit the little voice note mode over here, even while I'm on my mobile, and I can just have a conversation like I was ringing up my business coach or best friend and talking to them. Okay, so I enable all of those, tick them all off, and then we press save. Now, That means that it has some information about me. Now, does that mean that that information can't be updated, changed? No. You can go in at any time and update that, change it as you pivot in business, as you come up with ideas. If you find it's not giving you the right answers, maybe you can go back in there and just say certain things to it, okay? Now, that's part one of customizing it. There is also customized GPT, which is fine, settings, where you can go in now and delete all. No, I don't want. So we go in there again. Let me just show you again. We go in here and we go into settings. So we're going to go through and just make sure some things are on here. Delete all chats. And let me see what that part is if we toggle that off. No, so we don't want to have delete all chats on. We want to keep our chats, okay? Because keeping the chats, we can reference back to them and we can also have some history there, okay? Notifications. Have we got anything here? Notifications is you can turn these on to have an email pop up or so for me, I'll show you a bit later how I have something pop up to me each morning on my emails, which allows me to keep focused. It's almost like a sign of encouragement, an affirmation that happens each day, and ChatGPT sends that to me. So I'll show you that in a moment, but personalization, okay? ChatGPT will become more helpful as you chat, picking up on details and preferences to tailor its responses, okay? To understand what ChatGPT remembers or teaches is something new. Just chat with it. Remember that I like concise responses, or remember I just got a puppy. Or at any time, you can ask it, do you remember give me a summary of what I do for a business or what I do. Once you've been chatting to it for a while, you can always ask it what it remembers about you and just make sure that it's accurate. And if it's not, then you can go back in and change it, okay? Where did we leave off on the last project? So you can talk to it with things like that. So manage memories. So I was going through all of this. As I'm having all these conversations with it, it's remembering certain things, and I can bin things that are no longer applicable to me, okay, or change. But this is what it's remembering. And so I can just keep that there, go through it, make sure it's what I want it to remember. Okay, so you can do that at any time. Speech. You can choose who you want to talk like, and you can also get it. It also defaults to this, so I don't think you need to worry about that. Build a profile. Personalize your build a profile to connect with users of your GPTs. So this is really when we start creating GPTs or bots. This is important because you can actually just put your bots up for other people to access. But I'll show you a bit more about that. Don't want to get too caught up in that. Connected apps, you can connect different apps to it. So I've got my Google Drive connected, and then you've got your own security and your own subscription. Okay. So really in here, we just want to go into customize ChatGPT and settings. Okay. Now, remember before I was talking to you, and this is a beta, so it's being tested, tasks. So when I was telling you I get an email, this is here scheduled. I get it and I can update it. I can just hit that little drawing and tell it what to do. But daily at 9 a.m., it sends me a motivational prompt or quote via my email. Okay, so you can get it to send you tasks. You can get it to send you reminders to do things. And that's on beta at the moment. So I'm not sure if everyone gets that beta testing. So it's just being tested. Okay. Now I have to say the motivational quotes aren't amazing, but it is in testing mode still. So I'm yet to, test a little bit more on that, but that's another great way that you can use it. Okay. So we've chosen the ChatGPT Plus. We've given it some information about us. Okay. We want it also to reference our website. Okay. So when you're customizing ChatGPT, if you've got a website in here, pop it in. Anything else ChatGPT should know about you. This is my website. You can tell it your age, you can tell it your gender, you can tell it your design style, your who you think your target client is, although it can help you define that a little bit more later. Um, you can put in the services you offer, so you can put in your services page, anything that's really important. So it might be even a blog post, like your best blog post, or a newsletter, an example of your newsletter. Anything that you've got that you want it to reference as your tone of voice and the way that you speak or come across is really, really important. Okay. So, another thing that you might like to put in here is the way that you would like it to respond. Okay, so for me, I use the word amazing a lot. I don't use certain words. So if there's things that I don't use, then I will tell it also. Okay, so I don't use phenomenal. I don't use certain words. I tell it that. So don't use those words. Okay. So tell it your tone of voice. Remember, I said elevated. Is it professional? Is it traditional? Is it friendly? Outside of the box. So just give it all those little things that you can help. Okay. The other thing that we're going to ask it to do now, so once we've saved all of that and you feel like you've given it a really good some information in the background. Remember, you can always go back. Nothing's set in stone. You can keep updating this. You can ask it along the way. What do you know about me so far? Give me a summary to make sure that it's on track and giving you the right information or memorizing the right information. Okay. So some things that I want you to have a play around with in this while you're testing it is it can review your Instagram bio, okay? Based on what you know about me and who my ideal client is and the services that I offer, I'm going to paste in my bio. So you cut and paste it, screenshot it, cut and paste it into here, and just say, does it actually match the client that I'm going after? Can you make any suggestions to improve it? Remember, a bio is 150 characters, no more than 150 characters. You might also say to it, don't include emojis. I don't like emojis. So just all those little things. And as it's doing all this stuff, you're going to be training it more and more. Okay. Now, the other thing that you can do for it, once you've done this, once it knows who your client is, it knows what your website is, it knows the services you're offering, can you say then, can you give me, and this is in here in the prompting, give me 5 Instagram post ideas for your profession, interior designers, targeting my ideal client. Okay. Another prompt, see what it produces. Oh, I like option 2. Can you produce more like this? I want to put this into a carousel post. Can you actually plan out the carousel post for me? And it'll buzz it up like a whiz. Can you plan out a reel for me? The other thing that you can poke into the background is your competitors. Or you could actually, so just on that, your competitors. So you could say to it, these are my top 5 competitors based on if you can, give them their website. You can ask it, what do you need from me to analyze my top 5 competitors? So let's just ask it that. What do you need from me to analyze my top 5 competitors? Let's see what it says. To provide a comprehensive and strategic competitor analysis, I need some information from you first. Here's a quick list. Competitor identification. Who are your top 5 competitors? List their names and their websites. and their social media handles clearly. Key analysis goal. What specifically do you want to learn or uncover from this analysis? Is it pricing? Is it their offers? Is it their marketing, branding? And your specific market, describe your niche, your industry, what you're focusing on, and describe your customer briefly. Okay. And specific metrics to focus on. So ask it, social media performance. I want to know what their engagement's like, their follower growth, what their content strategy is. And you might say, compare it to mine, or you might say, produce a SWOT analysis. Show me what my strengths are and what my opportunities are, what my threats and weaknesses are. Okay, so much information can come out of this once you give it this information. Okay, so it is an absolute game changer tool. Okay, the other thing that I input into it quite quickly or early on is based on what you know about me and my ideal client and the business that I want to attract. What are 30 hashtags specifically for my business? Okay. And what are 20 keywords that I should use in my content to be seen and rank higher? The other thing I'm doing is when I'm asking it to produce content for me, I'm also asking it to produce content or keyword rich content so that when it produces those keywords in my content, my Instagram posts or whatever, I know that the keywords are what people are searching. So therefore, hopefully I then start to rank higher. This starts to work really well when you're doing a newsletter and a blog, for instance, okay? The other thing that you can do is write a caption for a post about how, for example, lighting transforms a space, and it will do that for you. And then you might tweak it, less of this, more of this, and then get it out. And then you just cut and paste it into your caption on Instagram. You might ask it to give me a hook for a reel about a common interior design mistake. Okay. And then you just cut and paste it into your own chat to make it clearer. Okay, so always a little bit of a tip. Say to it, make it more magnetic, make it more witty. Remember, I like to be slightly out of the box. Keep it to under 150 characters. Add a call to action. We want it to say all these things in it so that we can make sure that we're maximizing the content that we're putting out. Okay. The other thing that you can do with this as it's going is ask it to talk about your pricing. Okay. So in here again, pricing and client communication. How should I price a full service project for a 4-bedroom house? It will give you some details. Now you'll need to tweak these. You'll need to make them applicable to you and your business, but it'll pull information from the net and ask it what it thinks or what's actually out there in the market, okay? Give me a professional response to a client who's asking me for trade discounts. That is something else you can do, which is really amazing. Give me an email subject line for a new design service announcement. Okay, so all these things now you can start asking it for. You might say, give me 5 email subject lines. I like 2, give me another 5 like 2. So keep reiterating, keep giving it more information, keep refining it. And as you're doing this and playing around with it, it's going to get to know you better. Okay. You can also teach it to lead generate for you. Okay. So again, in this document, lead generation, give me 5 ways to attract my ideal client organically. Okay. What should my website homepage say? So I'm going to show you my website homepage. What opportunities am I missing? What are what's some ways that I could improve this to talk to my ideal client? I say it's going to help you with copywriting, so many other things. And you could even ask it like, What is my signature offer? How can I differentiate myself clearly from my competitors? Then, once you find it and you're happy with it, give me a 30-day content strategy for Instagram so that I can talk about this signature offer. Okay, so that's another way that you can do it. I spoke a little bit about this before, but in my notes, I always say perform a SWOT analysis on my business. What are my strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats? Remember, we're so close to our own businesses that sometimes we don't see these things. Okay, we're about to come to the end. Some common mistakes that I see at this time. Asking vague questions. Always add context. Remember the doctor scenario I told you earlier at the start? Treat it like you're going into the doctor to see the doctor. Tell them everything before you expect an answer. Jot it down, dot points. Doesn't have to be grammar. You don't have to use grammar. You're just telling it a whole lot of things. Do not take its first response as the final response. Okay? If you're vague, it'll give you vague answers. What happens when you get vague answers or you haven't trained it? You're going to sound like everyone else who's using it that doesn't know how to use it properly. And that's exactly what we do not want. Okay? So we do not want to sound like everybody else. Okay. Always just checking that the recording's on. Yeah. Don't forget to train it. Regular use and responses is also training it. Okay. So the more you use it, the more you train it, the better this tool becomes for you. And do not use it without personalization. AI is a tool. It's not a replacement for your unique brand voice. It's a tool to help you as a business owner. And it is an amazing tool that you will use and use and use, but it doesn't replace you. Okay, so you still need to show up. You still need to be the person behind your brand. Okay, that is our summary for week 1. It's a lot of information to take in today. Just remember, I will be sending you all this recording as well for session 1. Next week, we're going to go into talking a little bit about custom GPTs, which are bots, and the ways that we can use them, and then how we can then start using it more to help us in business as well. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed the first episode. I hope you're in ChatGPT now. And when we sign out of here and I say goodbye, that you're going to continue to use it for at least another 30 minutes, play around with it, ask it questions. Next week, I'm going to show you how you can also use it in your personal life, how you can use it for legals, how you can use it for a personal dietitian. There are just so many ways that you can use this tool. As you can see, I absolutely love it. I swear by it. And I think it's for the first time ever, the first thing that I can see that's actually going to save. It's not more work for us. It's actually will allow us to have this omnipresence online, which is what we need to have in order to be seen, okay, and visible to get more business. So it's an impressive tool for that very reason alone. All right. Until next week, I will record again and send it to you. This will be in your emails now. And thank you for being here if you're live. And if you're watching the recording, I hope you've enjoyed our first session. See you all next week.